Hello, my friends. Welcome back. Thank you for sticking around through the BRB. I appreciate you hanging in there with me. I brought back a little friend. Just for a moment, though, he can't stay down here in the basement with me, but for all the fine people who stuck around through the BRB, I thought I'd treat you with a visit from one of my mini cats. This is Khaki. Khaki is the most outgoing and playful cat. I think he's secretly a dog disguised as a cat. He plays fetch. He chews on a rawhide bone. He chases his tail. He's just really and he's not afraid of anything. Our other two cats, if anyone shows up at the house, if anyone visits us, our other two cats, they go into hiding for hours. Khaki is not like that. He wants to meet every person. He wants to be involved in everything. He's not a very good lap cat. He doesn't really like to be held, and he doesn't like to sit on your lap or anything like that. He likes to be nearby people, but he's not very cuddly. We've got a different cat for that. That's more Inky's thing. But this is Khaki. We call him Mr. Pants a lot. That's kind of become his nickname. That's right. Doesn't afraid of anything. Rug dog. The music that you heard, by the way, that was put together by Sparrow the Dragoon there in chat. He makes remixes. That's a brand new one, inspired by Stage 3 of Vector Man. You can follow Sparrow's stream and check out his SoundCloud with those links there if that interests you, my friends. It'd be a great way to give him thanks for so kindly and generously providing his music to the stream. All right, but I've got to let Khaki go back upstairs. I can't keep him down here with me. The basement is not safe for the cats. Just a short visit. So let me put him back where he's safe. I'll be right back with you, my friends. All right, and we'll get down to business now. Is that Buck Wild you heard? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that, my friend. Thank you. So, Super C, Deathless, all items. That's what we're going for. We're going to start with a warm-up run. I'll probably hit reset if I die or make a mistake on stage 1. But we'll play through the whole rest of the game regardless of what happens for our first run to de-rust and refamiliarize ourselves with it. And then we'll probably lean a little bit more heavily onto that reset button on subsequent runs. Who knows? Maybe a miracle will happen and run 1 will be the one. This is Contra, right? This is Contra 2. Yeah, this is a Super C on the NES. It's actually Contra 2. I like it a little better than the first Contra, but only by a little bit. They're both very excellent games. Classic. So I didn't actually grow up with the Contra games. I missed out on them when I was a kid. I played the first Contra for the very first time last year, and it was kind of love at first sight. I really liked it, and I played it a lot more. I started doing some challenge runs through it just for fun, and I played this one, and I like this one even more. But they're the only two so far. They're the only 2 games in the series I've played. I have almost the whole series in my collection. There's a couple of them A couple of them I don't have yet. But I've never played them, and I'm working my way slowly through the series. I'm trying to do... I've been trying to do challenge runs of each of the ones that I like, so that I kind of stretch out my time with them and just get to spend, you know, get to really appreciate each one for a while. I feel like, you know, if I marathoned them all in like a session really close together, they would kind of blur, and it wouldn't be as special, I guess. And yeah, they are definitely tough games. I can do pretty well at them, but it is definitely not from natural talent. I've just spent a whole lot of time with them. So, the particular challenge we're on right now is all items. I need to 100% grab every item in the game, and so far I have not managed to do that. I have had a run that where I missed only one item, but I have not had a perfect run. There's so many opportunities to miss items. And there was one part you'll see in stage 7. There's one part of stage 7 where 2 items come in at the same time, and it took me a long time to work out how to get both of them. And my solution is really ugly, but it works most of the time, so I'm sticking with it. This pair of items coming up here is kind of tricky. I died. No. Rip the run. Alright, this is the warm-up, though. It doesn't matter. It's okay to die on the warm-up run. And as long as we don't miss an item, even a death isn't really that big of a deal. As long as I don't miss an item, I can still earn a 1cc, which is still an achievement for me. So, well, it's not, you know, not the achievement I want. It's a perfectly valid stepping stone. But I've heard good things about the SNES and Genesis Contras, so I'm really looking forward to those. And I imagine that if I like them as much as these, I'll be doing challenge runs through those too. I don't know if I'm going to try for the challenges in every game in the series, because I'm kind of worried that some of the Game Boy ones might not be as much fun to play. And I've heard pretty bad things about some of the later Contra games. But all of them that I like, will definitely be doing some of these in. That was scary. Scary spider. What? I got the firepower up, but I was still shooting lasers. That's weird. I know you've got to be able to take out that enemy way, way faster than I do, but it's okay. Don't let the timer fool you. I run the timer to keep me focused, but I'm perfectly happy to go super slow through the game as long as it keeps me from missing a power, or preferably from missing a power or dying. I'm happy to spend 2 hours on a run. Stage 4 here, this elevator section. There's the 2 power-ups we just got. Those are the, that pair is pretty easy. There's another pair a little bit later on that's pretty hard. I end up missing one of them a lot. They spawn while some rather unfortunate enemies are about. Some of these, moving guns. Okay, here they come, right here. Uh-oh. I'm gonna miss them. Oh, I missed one. The run's dead. Rip. It's okay, though. It's just the warm-up run. You like that lie I keep telling myself? It's okay, it's just the warm-up run. It's not okay. My heart is broken. Richie, welcome to the stream. 99969. Pleasure to have you with us. I shut down the timer when the run dies because, like I said, I don't really care about the time. And there's no real need to be focused when I'm on a dead run. Sometimes people are curious about that, why the timer reset, because it's not about the time. Streamers like you are living the dream, getting paid millions to play video games on the internet. Fame and fortune for doing something you love. Wow, I'm so jealous. I don't know who's getting paid millions. It certainly isn't me. I've been very lucky to be able to spend a lot of time doing this lately, but this is not a job. This is a hobby. And so modest, too. Well, thank you. I spend a lot of time with myself. I'm well acquainted with my faults, so I would, I know better than to brag. Sometimes it takes the game a long time to figure out that boss has been defeated. You can sit there for quite a while with the game just kind of doing nothing. Alright, here we go. This is my favorite stage. That doesn't mean I'm good at it, but I do like this stage the best. Which is weird, because I don't know, I never would have thought a vertical stage would wind up being my favorite, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. You can move pretty fluidly through it. And it has the best boss of the 2 Contra games I've played so far. I really like the Stage 5 boss. I love those multicolored clouds in the background and the purple boulders that come rolling down up here. It's got a good aesthetic to it, this level. Alright, now with the spread gun, this boss probably isn't going to look like a whole lot, so you just have to trust me that it's the best boss. On the low percent run, when you have to fight that boss with the pea shooter, the pea shooter makes that a lot more challenging. These power-ups are very easy to miss. Rip. That's 2 power-ups gone. Oh, I'm bleeding lives. It's heartbreaking. Have I ever even played this game before? Alright, so... we move onward. Right here, the power-ups right here, it's very easy to miss one of these two. I was talking about I had a run where I missed only 1 power-up. It was right there. I don't remember if it was the laser or the spread gun, but it was one of those two. Also, I use the words item and power-up interchangeably. This is the one fault with Contra and Super C, both of these games. The one fault is that a lot of the bosses, especially when you have the spread gun, but even when you don't, a lot of the bosses are really cheesable. If you just know where to stand for a lot of the bosses, you can just stand still and wail on them. That's why I like the Stage 5 boss so much. You can't really do that during that battle. It's a very athletic boss fight. A fame and fortune. I mean, if someone's handing out fortunes, I'll take it. The fame I could probably do without. I've always been a bit of an introvert. Some might even use words like hermit. If I may ask, how do you deal with any pre-stream anxiety? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. My pre-stream anxiety when I started streaming was off the charts. You wouldn't believe it. I would pace back and forth in my house. I would pace back and forth in my house, and I would be so anxious and so like tight in my chest. I would start. This is gross. This is gross. But I would start dry heaving sometimes. Like I was gonna throw up. It was crazy. And I don't know why either, necessarily, but I mean, I guess it goes back to the introvert thing, but like public speaking is something that I do pretty well. I mean, I worked professionally as a teacher for a long time. And even after that, most of my other jobs have dealt with being in front of the public, interacting with the public, and being in front of crowds to present. So I don't know. I don't know why it was so terrible. I'm gonna throw some lives away here. That part up there with those green bubbles, that is that's the hardest part of the run for me, and I wanna force a continue here so that I restart the level so I can practice that part again. It'll only take a moment, and then we'll continue on with the rest of the game. Because I play on physical hardware. I can't make save states and repeat parts of the game, so I've got to do things like this in order, if I want to practice a particular part of the game. This is how I have to do it, so. I'm the opposite. I can't talk to a human IRL to save my life. But online, it's different. Just turn on the cam and anxiety and shyness vanish, Man Burning says. There is the thing, though, about streaming. There is that you always have a very easy exit. So maybe, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know that I have any advice that's useful, but maybe if you keep that sort of locked firmly in the back of your mind, if anything goes wrong with the stream, it's very easy to excuse yourself from the situation. And really, I mean, I think that you're pretty much in control of the situation at all times. Like, people can come in and, try to troll your stream and stuff like that, but you do have, like, if you think about it, you've got mods, and even if you don't have any of your mods with you, you still have all the mod powers, and there's nothing stopping you from switching the chat to emote only if someone comes in trying to start some trash. Abby, you're always super confident on stream, Man Burning says. Never seen you uncomfortable or fumble around. I'm surprised you have pre-stream anxiety. I would have thought the same. I haven't been there, as frequently as Man Burning has, unfortunately, but and the times I have been, you've never come across as anxious to me. Okay, we won't be throwing any more lives away, by the way. I think I'm on my last continue. I think you only get 2 continues. I actually don't know for sure. But yeah, this is this part right here where these 2 power-ups come in and you have to use the laser to get them both. It's surprisingly difficult. And I know I clear out a lot more of these bubbles than I need to. But again, speed is not the concern. Nice. That's 3 for 3. That's pretty good. I cannot boast that 3 for 3 on those is common. I call those power-ups the evil twins because they spawn at the same time and they ruin my run. Got pretty lucky with the scorpions. Those are pretty easy scorpions. If you like Contra and you like Super C, if you're like me and you like these games and you're also disappointed that the bosses are all like kind of easy, I can highly recommend a game called Super Cyborg. It's an indie game. It's basically a fan sequel to Super C. You might call it a ripoff. You might call it an homage or a love letter, but it's basically Super C with new levels and much better bosses. It's very challenging. But if you want Super C with good bosses, Super Cyborg is the way to go. We played it on the Switch a while ago, and I'd like to play it more. It's just that playing Switch games on the stream is somewhat inconvenient because it's a hassle to change capture devices. But one of these nights, eventually, we'll try a hard mode playthrough of that one. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I'll probably cry a million tears. And lose even more lives. I think you have unlimited continues in Super Cyborg, though. So that is one thing that it saves the game and it gives you unlimited continues. So there's no excuse not to finish it. Provided you like hard games to begin with. No, leave me alone. Oh, that was bad. I'm glad I didn't die. Alright, here we go. Contra F-Weapon is garbage. Super C F-Weapon? Magical. It's a great defensive weapon, and it absolutely ruins this final boss. I just can't help it. It's just so much fun to jump and shoot. There we go. All right, we're warmed up, so we'll enjoy the brief credit roll, and then we'll start again. No excuses now. Next time, when I fail the next attempt, I have nothing I can say to console myself. What a beautiful sunset. Oh, I missed it. From the top, second verse, same as the first. This is the last of the specific challenges I have in mind to do for Super C. I have given some thought to doing single weapon runs of all the weapons through the first Contra in this game, and we might do that further down the line. I actually don't think they'll be as challenging, but I'm always wrong anyway, so maybe they'll be nightmarish. But after we pull off this, after we eventually pull off this challenge, my my plan is to do sort of a victory lap of a playthrough where we just keep looping. The game loops, and see how many loops of the game I can complete on a single credit. We did that for Contra, and I made it through 8 loops, which I felt pretty good about. I would have liked to have made it for 10. I mean, when I started, I said I was going to be happy with 5, and then once I made it past 5, I was like, oh well, now I'd like to do 10, but. Eight's not bad. But we'll see how many we can do of this game. It'll probably be much fewer. That was ugly. That was so scary. Stage 3, here we come. That was close. Took me a very long time to work out that I can stand there. I did that part, for the longest time I did that part where I stood way, way far back at the opposite edge of the screen from that gun, and it was a much slower kill. It takes me a long time to figure things out because games that I do challenge runs of, I try to avoid all content about those games that I can. So like I don't watch other streams of Super C or speedruns or anything like that because I want to, for the challenge, I want to figure out everything with my own sort of casual strats as inefficient as they may be. So there's a lot of places, that a lot of times where like, I know I'm not doing something the best way that it can be done, but I've avoided learning a better way out of my own sort of sense of stubborn pride, I guess. But just it takes away, like I really like the thrill of discovery. And it's and there's something just really powerfully pleasing about like a game I've been playing for a very long time, suddenly figuring out that I've been doing something wrong for hundreds of hours. It's actually a really good feeling when I have my mind kind of blown, like it was so much easier all this time. I had a version of that happen earlier tonight when we were playing Scooby-Doo. I was about 9 hours into the game when I figured out that my character could run. And I had spent at least 8 of those 9 hours complaining about how slowly the characters walk. And it turned out it was all my fault because I didn't know I could run the whole time. And those are the kind of moments you live for right there. That was so funny. That was a good one. That was a good one. I think that, I mean, that's in some ways, it's not, I don't know, it's hard to say. I don't know if it's, comparing it to my carry playthrough of Castlevania 64, where I didn't know until about 2/3 of the way through the game I could have been charging my attacks the whole time. It didn't take me as long to figure it out, but it was something, but I feel like the charge attack example was something more obvious. Because the thing about not being able to run was only certain characters could run. And there's very little incentive to ever play as the characters that can run, so... I mean, when you don't know they can run, there's very little incentive to play as them. So, I don't know. I don't really know which moment was necessarily worse. Abe's Odyssey was another one. Abe's Odyssey was another one that was pretty good for, like, figuring stuff out about the game really late into the playthrough. There were a couple times where my jaw kind of hit the floor when I discovered abilities that I never would have dreamed I'd had. I unfortunately didn't like that game as much as I wanted to. Abe's Odyssey, it's a very interesting game, but that puzzle, that sort of like rigid puzzle platformer control scheme, it made it really hard to like that game as much as I wanted to. Oh yeah, we've all had moments like that. That's why I'm kind of like, that's why I have a pretty strict sort of anti-backseating view and definition of what that means. That's why I'm pretty strict about it on this stream, is because I'm not necessarily trying to, I mean, I guess you could accuse me, you could say that I'm trying to manufacture those moments, and maybe I am to a degree, but I would say that from my perspective, the idea is that I don't want to miss opportunities for those moments. It makes it kind of difficult when people like want to help me out and like explain sort of, you know, controls and mechanics to me. It's like, well, if you do that, I'm gonna miss out on having my mind blown later when I figure out I have been stupid for 9 hours. Abe's takes a while to get used to. I feel it's worth the frustration though. It's something I might give another playthrough to. I thought about it because I got the bad ending. I think it might be worth revisiting to see if I can get more of the Mudokons. I kind of think you're supposed to get the bad ending on the first playthrough because the game explains so many of the mechanics so late into the game that, like, I'd already missed so many Mudokons by the time I learned, like, fundamental things for rescuing them. No! Ah, rip the run again! I've got a couple other of the Oddworld games, too. I don't know if we'll do... I don't know. I have Abe's Exodus, and I have a couple of the other ones in the series. Abe's Exodus is the one I'm most interested in of the other ones in the series, I think. But I'm trying to decide... I don't know if I should play Abe's Exodus or if I should replay Abe's Odyssey first. Because I kind of think if I replay the first one, it gives me an opportunity to get better at it. And then maybe that will help when I go into the second one. Maybe it'll help me enjoy it more on the first playthrough. I think there could be some advantages to replaying the first one before I move on to the second. But that's gonna be a while because we just finished Oddworld a couple months ago, and I usually like to spread sequels out pretty far. I mean, it doesn't seem like that when I'm doing like a trash games marathon like I'm doing now, because I am playing stuff close together. But with games I expect to enjoy, I like to keep sequels kind of spread out from each other. Now the run is dead in multiple ways. Missed one power-up, lost one life. I need to stop that timer. Exodus is something else. They upped the ante on the puzzles. Yeah, maybe I should do the first one again first then. Because there's still a lot of stuff in that game that I have no clue about. 2 deaths. Humiliating. It's still fewer than last time, though. We're gonna keep going though. We'll finish this out. We'll do at least one more run. I'm gonna keep playing until I get to where I'm at the point where I feel like I've reached diminishing returns. That usually happens after run 3 or 4. But we'll see. I'm not gonna stop on stage 7 for the Evil Twins practice. I'm just gonna go through stage 7. We did so well in the first pass that I've grown overconfident, and I'm gonna skip an opportunity to practice. So remember that when I pay for it later. when I've got the perfect run, and then the Evil Twins destroy it because I've refused an opportunity to practice. Abe's Exodus on the PlayStation 1 is kind of buggy. I had a couple times where the game crashed and soft locked on me. I think at least 3 times there was either a crash or a soft lock. It's probably actually closer to 6 or 7 though. But I can think immediately. I can think of 3 examples pretty clearly. But I feel like there were more. It has a lot of trouble. The game, for whatever reason, has a lot of trouble with, like, when you die and you respawn at a checkpoint. Sometimes, like, vital characters don't respawn like they're supposed to. Those camels that Abe rides around. I had a couple instances where they glitched out and wouldn't respawn, or they would behave in ways they weren't supposed to. Very weird, kind of frustrating. I only played the PC ports, had the fair share of glitchy moments. My very first stream, we played Ghosts and Goblins. That was the first game I did on stream, and it was actually a really good playthrough. I beat it in about an hour and a half, which is pretty good for me. Ghosts and Goblins usually takes me about 2 hours on average, so an hour and a half skews really fast for me for that game. But the I had some technical difficulties with it that night, where the screen kept glitching out. The game didn't crash, but it got kind of weird looking. It kept getting all these stripes going through the screen, and I was really worried it was going to crash. But I was kind of, I was a little ways along into the game, and I was like, I'm just going to keep playing and hope it clears up. But that made me kind of nervous, because I was like, this is a really bad omen for the first game I play on my first stream to glitch out real badly. It would have been an amazing first stream. It was all right. It was all right. I think I did pretty well. I don't know why I did Ghosts and Goblins first. I probably should have done Super Ghouls and Ghosts first, since that's one's actually my favorite game. Would have made more sense, I think, for that one to be the first stream, but I mean, I like Ghosts and Goblins a lot, but it's, I think I was kind of worried. I was like, well, maybe I don't want to do Super Ghouls and Ghosts for the first stream in case something does go wrong. Maybe that's what was in the back of my mind. I thought that guy was gonna catch me. He was getting close. I was worried. I was worried if I took the time to turn around and shoot that guy, then the ceiling was gonna be in a bad timing for me and knock me into the abyss. I feel like I'm getting a lot better at this hallway. This hallway usually gives me a whole lot of trouble, and I'm definitely not doing it perfectly. But we had two really good level 8s tonight. Sorry, it's probably annoying. It's probably a little bit annoying how much I jump around and shoot pointlessly. It's just, it's so fun to press buttons. The credits in this game are like just the perfect length. That's why I always want to let them play out. It gives me just a moment to unwind and let the previous run fade away before we hit reset. Hey, thank you for those GGs, Wolfman. Thank you. Feeling alright. Not a, you know, again, not the run we want, but all practice is progress, as they say. If you're not around here very often, I use for those of you who aren't, I use a wooden sword. This is what this is how I hit the reset button on my console. It's a perfect length to reach my NES from here. And it's a lot of fun. It's a speedrunner thing, gotta mash those buttons during the idle time? I guess so. keep the fingers awake. Keep the blood flowing. Oh, that one almost got away from me. It's probably best if it's probably better if I don't get the run tonight, right? Because I've got that ugly ET Frownie up there in the corner. If I pull off the run now, my victory video is gonna have that horrible cursed ET in the whole video. I do very much like your reset sword. Thank you. I've developed conflicted feelings about the about my wooden sword since it's become my reset sword. While I appreciate its aesthetic beauty, the only times I ever use it for anything are when I'm very sad. The ET is exactly why it would make the perfect run. For just by some coincidence, it seems that a lot of my challenge run victories, a lot of the videos where I actually accomplish a challenge run, they have the trophy icon up there. I think it gives me good luck or puts me in the right mindset to win or something. I don't know. But considering all the different icons I have that can go up there, a very disproportionate number of the successes have been while the trophy is up there. I don't really give it a lot of thought, though. I don't. It doesn't actually matter to me all that much what icon is up there. That is not at all high on my list of priorities. They're just kind of a fun thing to fill the empty space on the screen. Hey, Guri Soma, thank you for joining us for some Super C. Are you winning, son? I'm doing my best, Dad. I'm not winning though. Unfortunately, I've let you down. I just died. We'll hit reset. We're so early in the game, we don't really lose a whole lot. That's a bad sign, though, when I have to start resetting in the early levels. That makes me nervous. It was an alarming noise I just heard from upstairs. I'm gonna assume everything is okay and just continue to play my game. It was just me, Frownie. Oh my goodness. You joke, you joke. You're just telling me that. You're just telling me that because you don't want me to come up there and catch you, right? Better go look. I assume it's fine. When you, when you have as many cats as I do, you get used to hearing what sounds like everything in the house falling over. You just become resigned to the fact that sometimes you're going to find something broken. There's not actually very much they can cause serious damage to. From the basement, everything up there sounds worse than it is, too. Do I suspect that one time I thought I saw someone coming down my stairs, it was a cat? No, because there's a door at the top of the stairs which stays closed. The cats, we don't let the cats come down the stairs. The basement, it's not really safe down here in the basement for them. There's too many opportunities for them to hurt themselves down here. Or get trapped in something or lost somewhere. Soul Food, 1990. Hey, welcome to the stream, Soul Food. Thank you for joining us, and thank you very much for the follow. It's great to have you on board with us. I'm sorry I have to reset the game. The Spirit of Isaac. I had a thought, but it vanished from my head. No. Don't despawn my spread gun. Alright, that was crazy ugly, but we're okay. I actually prefer that a successful run have some moments of drama in it like that, right? That's all we want to see. When unexpected things happen, but I survived them, those are good moments. It keeps us all on the edge of our seat. Whoa, that was close. I mean, you can always kind of squeeze through there, but as you can see, I was misaligned, so... That last second correction there. Something else. The Contra laser has to be just one of the strangest weapons in video games. Because, like, when you mash the button, look what it does. It's so weird. Oh no, I was playing around. We may have hit that point of diminishing returns that I was talking about. But, like, see, when you mash the laser button, look how it behaves. That doesn't even make any sense. The second laser instantly despawns the first laser. I don't know any other game with a weapon that works like that. It's very odd. I picked the worst possible time to illustrate it. Oh, the thought I had before that slipped my mind. I was gonna say, Soul Food has brought the stream up for the first time to 599 followers. We're really close to hitting 600 for the first time. That's pretty cool. I mean, I've noticed we were close for a while, but now we're really close. Congrats, thank you. Alright, let's turn it around. Let's say goodbye to level 3 this time. I mean, we gotta say goodbye to level 2 again first, but... I'm already, like... anticipating being back at level 3, and... let's remember what it feels like to not mess up. Whoa, that was close. That guy was just slightly out of alignment with me. Okay, we're still good. We're still good. That was scary. Those are surprisingly hard to hit, those two power-ups, because the top one spawns first. It's tricky to get it. You can get them with a single laser if you time it right, but the timing is just a little bit tricky. It'd be really helpful if the bottom one spawned first, but, you know, since when has Contra been about being helpful to the player? I say that there are actually a couple examples where the game is exceedingly helpful to the player. As hard as these games are, there are a couple places where the devs designed it to really help you out. Like the end of level 8, they give you the perfect weapon for the end of level 8 right when you need it. I mean, I can't imagine, you know, something friendlier than that, right? Since never. That's certainly what it feels like most of the time. But that fire weapon for the end of level 8, that's the weapon you want to have, and they give it to you right there when you need it. I like to catch that fire weapon and try and use it before I pick up the spread gun, because it feels more satisfying if I have an opportunity to use every item. I know it's not really the point. It's okay if as long as I collect it, doesn't really matter if I actually use it, but it feels better when I use it. It's wasteful not to use them, right? The items cost me so much to obtain. That good feeling. So what I did when I do the low percent runs of these games, where collecting items is forbidden, I actually went a step further, and I stipulated that even opening an item capsule by accident, even if I didn't collect the item, if I opened the capsule, the run was dead. Because I thought it was more in the spirit of the no items run to have the attitude of I don't want to collect an item. I don't even want to see an item. If I see an item, I lose, and so I think trying to use every item is kind of in the same. It's kind of the reverse of that, where it is in the same spirit. I've sort of really going all out for the challenge. So I think that's what mostly makes it feel real good when I'm able to use items that I otherwise wouldn't, because there's another one to collect right away. It gives it a purpose besides just collecting it, yeah. That it does. Been doing pretty well at the first half of the game lately. I'm probably, you know, ruining my luck by saying that out loud, but levels 1 through 4 I'm feeling really solid on. Level 5 I feel like I should be solid on. I keep blundering level 5, and I really feel like I shouldn't, but I don't know. Level 7 I feel solid on. Level 8 I feel solid on. Really the only level I feel bad about at this point is level 6. I don't really have any meaningful strategies for any part of level 6 yet. The only strategies I've developed are get lucky. It's not a very good strategy. That might work for people who have a bit more base level luck than I have, but one of the ways you could be really unlucky on level 5, if you open these capsules while they're too high up on the screen, the item that comes out will despawn before you can collect it. If the item goes too high off the screen, off the top of the screen, it despawns instantly. Guess who was not happy to discover that? Yes, I thought the run was dead. We're fine. It fell back onto the screen. We're fine. I keep using the word blunder lately. I watched I got caught in a loop of YouTube video recommendations the other day. I watched a whole bunch of chess videos, and now I can't stop saying the word blunder. Oh, no. Oh, I didn't die. I thought I died. I didn't. I stole the spread gun. That means I didn't die. I don't know how I didn't. Ooh. Come on, don't get me, don't get me, don't get me, don't get me. That was scary. No. Oh, I thought that was the one. Oh, we did so well. We made it so far. I just said level 6 is the level that scares me. We almost made it through level 6. That's heartbreaking. My insides hurt. Life is sad. Hey, life just got a lot better. The Combat King is here. Hey, thank you for joining the stream, my friend. We're on the grind tonight. I'm on the all powers run. We did any percent, we did low percent. Only 100% is left, and I'm getting so close. That was such a good run. We're gonna finish it out, but it hurts to lose that one. Never up this early. So the stream is super welcome. Hey, I usually don't stream this late, but I'm glad I can be here for you, my friend. I'm glad I can return the favor, because I always love when you're streaming late, and I get to catch you after one of my streams, so I'm glad I could, you know, kind of, in my own little way, attempt to return the favor here. I don't know if I mentioned this to you. If I'm repeating something, I apologize. But I discovered a new game because of you a while back. Smash TV. You played that on your stream. It's been several weeks now. It was quite a while ago, but I feel like I might not have mentioned it to you yet. But I was watching your stream and you played Smash TV, and I'd never seen that game before. And I watched the first part of it, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to lurk now because this game looks really cool, and I don't want it spoiled." But I'm really happy you chose to play that one night because I got the SNES version, Super Smash TV. It's so hard. I really like it. It's a really fun game, but it is so hard. Contra is so much easier than Smash TV. I can make it about, on my best runs, I've made it about halfway through level 3, but I can't get any further than that. You get a generous number of continues too, but they are limited. The NES version? No, I haven't played that one. I've only played the SNES version. I do have a port of the arcade version on the PS2. But I'm kind of saving that because I think I'm going to like it a lot better if I can play it with sticks instead of the D-pad and buttons. And I'm kind of waiting to... I kind of want to see if I can beat it on the Super Nintendo first, because I'm worried that the PlayStation 2 version is going to ruin the Super Nintendo version for me. So I'm trying to have self-control and finish it on the SNES first. The NES version is easier. This guy's taking me a while to kill. There we go. You get to use 2 controllers as joysticks. It's an outstanding demake. I love a good demake. I really do. Yeah, I knew about the 2 controllers thing. I'd seen something about that. That sounds interesting. That sounds kind of awkward and scary, but definitely like something. It definitely sounds like something I'd like to give a try. So maybe one day the NES version. I play kind of cautious here. There we go. playing really cautious everywhere. Super cautious. I would normally would never stop on that pillar. All right, who has time to stop on the pillars? Alright, here we go, final boss. So, I died. This is not a deathless run, but this is a new milestone for me. That's why I was being so cautious. This is the first successful all items run, I think. I don't think we missed an item anywhere. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I'd hate to brag about an achievement I haven't achieved, but if you saw me miss an item, let me know. But I think that was it. I think we got every item, so that's a one death, all items run. That puts us closer than ever. So that's if I'm right, that's still something to celebrate. That's a one death run, so that's all items, 1 CC. I'm gonna make a note about it. I'll have to scrub through the VOD later. Super C, 100%. I use the terms 100% and all items interchangeably, because they are. 100% isn't really a category that people play. Like, if you check, like, speedrunning leaderboards, for whatever reason, Contra and Super C, there's a any percent, there's a low percent, but there's no 100%. People don't care about the all items run. I do. I think it, it completes the set, but I don't know, maybe I'm weird. Thank you for the GGs. Thank you for celebrating with me, my friends. It feels pretty good. I'm probably not going to top that, but I'm still, I still have the energy. I think I'll play a little longer. I'll start up another run or two. It's really unlikely I'm going to top that, but you never know. One death away from glory. One death away from being able to play another Contra game. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Super C, and I'll play Super C again and again and again. I'm never going to be done with it. It's a fantastic game, one of my favorites. But there's a lot of games in the series I've never played. And I'm holding them all. I'm holding the rest of the series. I'm holding it hostage. Right? I'm demanding, the challenge runs from myself before I get to play another game. So I've got a really excellent reward to look forward to. I get to play new games. I just got to do a little better. 1 death, 100% run with ET hype. Evening, Shino. Welcome back. Speaking of demakes, my dream project, it can never happen. It can never happen, but my dream project, if I had infinite time and programming skills, I would love to do an entire library demake of Nintendo 64 onto the Commodore 64. That's my dream project. Every Nintendo 64 game demade onto Commodore 64. I don't know the first thing about programming, by the way, so it's never gonna happen. I would say if I could snap my fingers and give myself time and knowledge, that's what I'd wish for if I found the genie's lamp. Actually, I wouldn't wish that I had to do it. I'd wish that the genie would just do it for me. And I'd get to play them all. I'd be a lot lazier with my wish. Going a little cautiously because I've had a lot of trouble with those two power-ups tonight. The saddest thing is that we never got a Contra game on the Nintendo 64. There is a Contra game on the Commodore 64. It's horrible. I don't recommend it. At least I don't recommend it with the original hardware or a close approximation because it's joystick to move. It's the joystick button to fire your weapon, and spacebar to jump. You have to use a joystick and a keyboard. You have to have 3 hands. You have to have 3 hands to play Commodore 64 Contra. It's a nightmare. But it's so sad we never got a Commodore 64, Contra 64 on the N64. It could have been spectacular, right? Every time I hear the word genie, I think of the TV show I Dream of Jeannie. I've never, I don't know that I've ever watched an episode of that show. I'm not really familiar with it. Grisor? What is Grisor? Is that a Contra clone on the Commodore? I don't know that one. Commodore 64 is the first way that I ever played video games. My answer, when people ask me what's the first video game you ever played, my answer is Ghostbusters on the Commodore 64, which is maybe true. It was either Ghostbusters or Donkey Kong, but Ghostbusters is the funnier answer, so that's the one I give. But I would have played both of those right around the same time. Donkey Kong on the C64 is really good. It's a great home version of the arcade game, but that Ghostbusters game is pretty terrible. It's not the worst thing ever, it's just not a lot of fun. It's kind of like they couldn't decide if they wanted... It's almost more of a, like, Ghostbuster, like... It's almost more like a Ghostbuster simulator than it is like a Ghostbuster video game. It's like Ghostbusters franchise simulator. Because that's the plot of the game. If you pay attention, you're not actually playing as any of the Ghostbusters from the movie. You're actually playing. It says at the start you've opened your own franchise. So your player characters are 3 completely unique Ghostbusters. Oh, I didn't know. The version that I played actually had the title Contra still attached to it. Might have been from a different region or something. Or someone modified it to put the Contra title screen back in it. I know in some parts of the world it's called Probotector, I think. I'm actually kind of glad our previous run died. I wish it hadn't died so late into the run. But when I got that fire weapon right before the spread gun on stage 3, I didn't actually use the fire weapon for anything. So I felt bad. Like we were talking about earlier, I feel bad when I collect a power-up and don't have time to use it before the next one. So it's kind of glad I'm kind of glad that that run died. That's the silver lining I'm clinging to. Regional title difference, yeah. Yeah, that's this series. That seems to be a thing with this series. My dad and I actually managed to beat Ghostbusters on the Commodore 64 once when I was a kid. And I mean, by we managed to beat it, I'm sure he did all the heavy lifting. But we actually managed to beat it one time. It's not easy because the ending is so terrible. It's not as bad as the NES, if I remember right. The ending to Ghostbusters on the NES is just impossible. But, it's still pretty terrible. Yeah, it's super harsh. Especially because, like, in the late game, the Marshmallow Man spawns out of nowhere and crushes buildings, and you have to pay for them. And, I mean, I know there's kind of a way to stop him, but it's really difficult to actually pull it off. It's wild how frequently those bombs slip between my machine gun bullets. It doesn't seem like any of them should be able to make it between those bullets, and so many of them do. It's simply unbelievable. Hey, Stream Kyle, great to have you here. How's it going? Pretty good. We've got an extra long stream going on tonight. I'm just I don't know. I've been in the mood to just keep it going. We've been playing Super C. We finished Scooby-Doo. I don't have to suffer with that game anymore. We did pretty well in Pikmin. Still a lot of Pikmin left, but that means a lot of the game left. I don't have a lot of individual Pikmin left. I'm not very good at commanding them safely. And I had my best run ever at the all items Super C. I finally got all the items, so I've had one legit all items run now, and it was a single death run. It was almost deathless. I messed up at the end of stage 6 and lost everything, but... Well, I didn't lose everything, because like I said, it's the first successful all-items run that I've done, so... There is something to be happy about, even if it is a little bittersweet. So it's been a really good night. We've had a lot of raids come in, a lot of awesome people stopping by and joining me in the chat. I got no complaints. Sounds like a fairly productive gaming night. There's a lot to be proud of. We're trying for one more good run through Super C. It might not be the run, but I'm thinking if I get one more run that, you know, feels like it was really good practice, then that'll probably be the last one for the night. So we might not be going too much longer, but a little bit. This run's pretty good so far, but it can always go horribly wrong. If you, for those who haven't been here, if you're interested in some of the other challenges that we've done, I've done Castlevania Deathless. I did Castlevania The Adventure Deathless, but I don't really count that one the same way because I used to speedrun that game. And I got the Deathless run, you know, while I was speedrunning it, so I wasn't really going for the challenge, but I mean it still counts. It's just it doesn't feel like the others because the others I purposely was grinding for a challenge. But we did Castlevania, The Adventure, we did the original Contra, and we did Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Those are the games I've done, the, like, hard games that I've done Deathless so far. I've got, like, big ambitions to do a lot more, but they take a lot of time. And I've been doing a lot of different sort of flavors of Contra and Super C. So it's a slow process. Some games I'd like to do, like Deathless runs of, are Ninja Gaiden and Journey to Silius. I think I'd like to do a no sub-weapon run of Castlevania and maybe do that Deathless if I could get good enough at it. I don't know. That's a scary run. This run's dead. Such a hardcore lineup. Well, believe me, it's not from natural talent. It's from what you're seeing here. It's from just playing the games a whole lot. You see, my strategy, my secret. If you want to have deathless runs of games like Frownie, here's what you do. You pick a game and you play it so many times that you exhaust every possible combination of button inputs that can possibly happen, so that you accidentally get the run. That's my strategy. There are only so many possible combinations of button inputs, right? But thank you, TKK. I'm pretty. I am actually pretty proud of what we've been able to do. It's nice to feel accomplished, Even if they are pretty small things in, like, you know, the grand scheme of things. Uh... So yeah, I could. No, I couldn't. I should never change anything. I was gonna try to get that. I was gonna try and get that second item a little differently than I normally do. I really shouldn't, like, I should let the autopilot do its thing, right? Because I think that really is what it's about to some degree. Is, you know, just playing these games. Look, that's a glitch. Look what happened. You can't get that. You get cheated out of your item when that happens. That's not supposed to, it's not supposed to be able to land there, but it glitches sometimes. Because it has to have, like, the ground has to have collision for the enemies that walk out of there, I guess. And so if it falls while the enemies are spawning, it can land on ground that doesn't exist, and then it lives there. It's not just the part that it landed on because I've had it fall, like, I've had it fall through every pixel of that of that ledge up there. It is supposed to fall through it. How is that guy still alive? I don't think I'm ever going to do a pacifist run. I don't even know if you can do a pacifist run deathless in these games. If deathless pacifist is possible, I might would be tempted to do it. Still probably not, but I can't imagine it's even possible. That was close. Those intense, scary, make you bite your lip kind of moments. Oh my. Watch how many of these bombs fall through my bullets. It's crazy. So many of them are exploding on the ground. That means they dodged every one of those bullets. It doesn't seem possible. Alright, I think we've had the best run we're gonna have for tonight, my friends. I don't think that there's a whole lot of point to starting up a whole lot more. I'm kind of feeling next run that makes it out of stage 1, we'll call it the last run of the night. I'd hate to end the night. I would hate to end the night on a run that dies on stage 1. Stage 1 death is just sad, but I mean, a stage 3 death is pretty sad too. Stage 1 death is more than my heart can take, but I'm kind of thinking this might be our last one. We're approaching the 9-hour mark. I said before I usually stream for about 6 hours a night, and we're like at 50% above that right now, which isn't a bad thing. I've been having a great time. But we've got to save some stream for tomorrow night too, right? A challenge I would love to be able to do, but I don't think I'll ever be good enough for. I would love to do Ghosts and Goblins Deathless on the NES. It would feel wonderful to be able to complete that game Deathless, because I really love it. But I am never going to be good enough at it to do that. That game is so hard. It has so many random elements to it. If I were gonna grind a Deathless run of Ghosts and Goblins, I would have to play nothing but that game for the next decade. That's the only way I might even have a glimmer of a chance. The thing about those games too is like when you get a deathless run of it, you have to immediately do it again since they're 2-loop games. Wow, there were so many enemies. It was giving me slowdown. I don't know that I feel slowdown in this game. Ever, really. That was wild. Some people are like machines with these old games. They practice so much. Oh yeah, I believe it. Like I know people that speedrun these games can do wild things with them. I said before, I may not, watch. I don't watch the speedruns of games I plan to challenge run, but I do catch a speedrun every now and then for other things. And some of that stuff is some of the stuff people can do, and the consistency that they can do it with, yeah. Like machines is really the only way to describe it. Don't tend to watch a lot of people playing games. I thought people had like 1 or 2 games they obsessed over to speedrun. Then I learned other things like the Big 20 where they run 20 games back to back. In my experience, it seems that most people who speedrun games speedrun at least a few of them. It seems to be one of those things, you know, like with the challenge runs that I've been doing. Like, you know, every time I complete a challenge, it makes me want to complete another one. And so, you know, I imagine it's the same thing with speedrunning. Every time you sort of feel like you've reached your peak with one game, you get the you get the urge for another, and another, and another. I've only learned and practiced one speed run, and I probably will only, I probably won't ever do another one. Well, we'll see. I may learn to speed run Castlevania 64 someday, but that's just a maybe. But I don't really have plans of learning to speedrun another game. I'm kind of happy with just these sort of challenges, more casual challenges. The thing about sort of like speedrunning, and especially like competitive speedrunning, is that the thing that is coolest about speedrunning is also the thing that makes me not really interested in doing it. Because what's really amazing about speedrunning is like the communities of people that develop around games and how collaborative speedrunning is. Like competitive speedrunning is, you know, is frequently intensely collaborative. Like, a lot of times, like, you know, there's so much sharing of information and so much, you know, like rooting for even your competitors to get better and better times in games. And that's awesome. But the thing is, the way I like to play games, I don't really... The collaborative nature of speedrunning is the thing that puts me off of wanting to learn a lot of speedruns. Because I'm not really interested in learning other people's moves. Like when it comes to these games, and most of these games are so optimized that you don't really have a choice but to learn from, you know, what's already been done and to incorporate pre-discovered strategies into the way you play. And I kind of like reinventing the wheel and figuring out as much as I can completely on my own. This is a dead run now because I missed that spread gun back there. Fire gun is great. MVP of the game, the fire gun. Everyone loves the spread gun, but I gotta say, I really like the fire gun. I really should use it more. I'll do a fire gun run, a fire gun only run at some point. All right, my friends, I think we're gonna wrap it up though. This run has died. We had our best ever. We got a new PB, right? We actually did the only run that's ever been all items. So I've only completed the all items challenge once now, and it was a 1 death run. So it's as close to victory as we can possibly be without being there. But sadly, we're not there yet. But I don't think I'm going to finish this one out. We've finished out this game so many times already tonight. We can just wrap it up. I wanted to fight that stage 5 boss just because I like it so much. Griselma. Right on, we can do that. Guide the raid happily. So, that is where we'll go. Gurisoma's pointing us in the direction of Toya Hachio. I haven't actually been able to see a lot of Toya's streams yet, so this is gonna be good. Although, to be honest, I'm probably not gonna hang around for a long time. That is no you know, in no way reflective on the quality of the stream. It's just I've been streaming for 9 hours. And that's way longer than usual for me. But I would be happy to catch a little bit of it. They're doing Devil May Cry 2 over there, which I hear is really bad, right? A lot of people don't like... I've never played any of the Devil May Cry games, but I hear Devil May Cry 2 is pretty bad. I could be misinformed, but... we all know how much Agent Frownie loves bad games, so... Let's go ahead and point ourselves in this direction. Thank you very much for being here for the stream, my friends. Again, so many wonderful people have come in tonight. We've got a lot of raids and new followers. Have a ton of you lurking tonight. Thank you for that, and of course all the great people chatting with me. Very much appreciate having you here, and I hope I get to enjoy your company again in the near future. We should be doing another stream tomorrow night, tonight, Friday night. Whatever that is, less than 24 hours from now at it's 8 a.m. for me right now. We should be live again around 10 to 11 p.m. Central Time. Good night, morning. Yeah, thank you. The plan for the next stream is actually more Super C. So if you didn't get enough Super C, well, that's what we're going to be doing with our next stream, and more Vector Man. I started playing Vector Man for the first time just a couple days ago. That's a lot of fun, but I haven't beaten it yet, so we're going to try that one again later on tonight. Really looking forward to it. So... here we go, my friends. One last time, thank you very much for being here. Like I said, hope I get to see you again, but for now it's time to head out. Let's go on an adventure.